In this video, we'll be taking a look at how you would create a custom portal form and then how you take those forms and assign them to your clients so they can log into the portal and complete your forms. To get started, we need to log in and go to the Settings area within Therapyzen, and in Settings we're going to go to the Custom Forms tab at the top here. When I get to the Custom Forms tab, I'm going to click on the Portal Forms checkbox here. And that's going to take me to the Portal Forms area where I can go ahead and start creating my form. So to get started, I'll come over here to the right and click Create Portal Form. As you can see, I'm in the form builder now, ready to go ahead and create a portal form. For this example, I'm going to create two forms very quickly. The first one I'm going to create is an authorization of release form. Now, one of the advantages of using our form builder is we provide some of these templates down here in the bottom right of the screen, and authorization of release is one of the forms that we provide as a template. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that one. That's going to drop the form into the form builder. From here I can make changes to the form, or I can leave it as is and go ahead and use it. Before I'm done with this form though, I'm going to go ahead and give it a title. So I'll come up here and click Edit Title. And I'm going to enter the title. Save that change, and there's my title. And once I'm done and ready to use this form, I just go over here and click Done. So now I'm returned back to my list of portal forms. There's my authorization of release form. Once that form has been created, I can preview it, I can edit it, I can even create a copy of that form, I can delete it, and once I'm ready to use it, I just go ahead and turn it on here. So that was real quickly how you can create a form using one of our templates, but I'm going to go ahead and create one from scratch very quickly so you can see what that process looks like as well. So I'm going to come back up here to Create Portal Form. That'll take me back into the form builder. I'm going to go ahead and give this form a title, and I'm going to call this Actions I Took to Feel Better. We'll consider this form a type of homework that our client's going to do for us on a monthly or weekly basis. So I'll go ahead and save that change. This form is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to start off by putting a little instruction here at the top. And this is just going to be a simple form for the client to record whatever actions they took throughout the course of the week to feel better. So my setup of fields is going to be very straightforward. Go ahead and add a text field, and we'll make the label Ask Today I Felt. Okay, and then we will let them put in their corresponding action. Okay, so now we've got a way for them to record how they felt, and then document any actions they took to make themselves feel better. So what I want to do now is give them the ability to make multiple entries here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this first one a few times. So we'll end up with 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and create 4 responses. And then I'll just drag these so they correspond to each other. Okay, perfect. There's my form. And in fact, I'll go ahead and put a digital signature on this form as well. And I'll have them date this field also. Okay, so there's my form. Once I'm ready to use it, I'll just go ahead and click Done. And now I'm back to my list of portal forms. Here's the one I just created. I'm going to go ahead and turn that one on as well. So now they're both available to be used in the client portal. And although they're ready to be used, they have not yet been inserted into any particular client's portal. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to jump over here to this client's record. Okay, and once the client's record loads up, I'm going to come up here to the Portal Forms tab and click. This tab will show me any existing forms that are in the portal for this particular client. But since we're starting fresh, I don't have any yet at this point. So once I'm ready to start assigning forms to this client, I'll just click this drop down here, select a portal form. There are the 2 forms that I created. I'll first select the authorization of release. Now before I actually insert this form into this client's portal, I'm going to use this preview button here so I can see what the actual form looks like. If you're in a group practice setting, it's very possible that somebody else has created this form, so you might want to review it before you actually insert it into the client's portal. But once I'm happy with it, I'll go ahead and close the preview and go ahead and add it to this client's portal account. Now upon clicking, I'll get this confirmation letting me know that as soon as I insert this form into this client's record, the client will be notified that they've got a new form waiting for them in the portal to be reviewed and completed. So it's very important that you're sure you want to add this form to the client's record. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And now that form has been added to the client's portal. It shows me the date that I assigned it, the current status of the form, and the actions that I can take on that form while it's in this particular status. So let's go back and add that second form. I'm going to come up here and pick the actions I took to feel better form. Once again, we can preview it before we actually add it. Everything looks good there, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to this client's portal. Once again, I'll get the confirmation. Are you sure you want to add this form? Because they will be notified. I'll click OK. Okay, so I've got two forms now added to this client's portal. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the portal view so you can see exactly what the client sees in the portal, how they complete those forms, and then finally we'll switch back to the clinician view so you can see what those completed forms look like to you and how you're notified that they've been completed. Okay, so now we are logged into the portal as your client, and I'm currently on the Forms tab, and as you can see there are the two forms waiting to be completed by the client. You'll also notice that up here at the top they have a couple messages waiting for them. Those are the messages letting them know that they do have forms now waiting to be completed in the portal. So to complete a form, a client will just simply come down here to the form name, scroll across until they get to the action button where they'll see a button here to edit the form. So if I go ahead and click on the edit button for this authorization of release, it brings up the form. The client can go ahead and make their selections and fill out their answers. And then finally, on the bottom of every portal form, the client has this checkbox down here which lets them mark the form as completed, which will also let the clinician know that the form is complete and ready for review. So with that box checked, I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. And you'll now notice that the form that we completed is now marked as complete, and the client can no longer edit that form. However, they can view it and review the completed form. They can even print it from here as well if they want to. So let me close back out of there. Now for this second form, I'm not going to complete it, but I am going to start it. So if I come down here and click on the Edit Form button, and I'll start filling out the form. And let's say I just answer a couple questions there, and I'm not going to mark it as complete. Maybe I want to save my work for later and complete it later in the day or later in the week. And that being the case, I'll leave that unchecked and go ahead and click Save and Close. Now you'll notice, because I have not completed that form, the status is in progress, and I can still come back and edit that form. Okay, so now we're going to jump back over to Therapyzen logged in as the clinician so we can view the status of these forms and also see how we learn about the progress of these forms. Okay, I'm now logged back in as a clinician in Therapyzen, and I'm looking at the client's record, and upon logging in, you'll notice I have a message up here at the top of the screen. So once I check that message, it'll let me know that I do have client forms waiting to be reviewed, and it'll tell you which client and which forms are ready for review. So as I look at the forms, I can see that one is still in progress. That is the one that the client has not yet completed. And also one is complete, and it is ready to be reviewed. So to review it, I'll just click the preview button here, and I can view the completed form and print it from here if I need to. I can also unlock the form, which basically means if I click this here, it will make the form editable once again in the portal. That'll come in handy if the client maybe missed a section or did not fill it out completely. And then finally, I can delete the form. You'll want to be very careful deleting forms to make sure you're not deleting something important, because deleting a form is permanent. So just always make sure you read and confirm and review the form before deleting it for any reason. So that is Client Portal Forms. You can add as many as you like, there's no limit, and over time they'll start to compile here in a list that you can refer back to at any time, and it'll always show you the most recent one first. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and if you need any help, just contact us at support@therapyzen.com.